Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Teal. I have a PhD in nutrition science and I have a long history of helping people with energy complaints, successfully helping them. I'm not a medical doctor. This video is for healthcare professionals who want to know the benefits of food nutrients to see if they can help people with up to 21 forms of energy complaints that they tend to see. Natural health people have always helped people with energy complaints. Energy issues are actually the #1 complaint that a lot of medical doctors even hear. Some people think you need the same thing to deal with energy issues. That's simply not been my experience. Many causes, including nutritional deficiencies, have been postulated as causing energy concerns. I did a clinical trial involving 101 people with long-term energy complaints. I found the average person had problems with 2.4 reflexes that I thought were involved with energy. Some people had one problem, some people had 5 or 6, so 2.4 was pretty much an average. Now I use reflex nutrition assessment, which is a form of muscle testing. It's not a diagnostic tool. And I should say that any reflexes have the same name as medical conditions are not those medical conditions. And basically we're talking about energy the way Eastern people and naturopaths and herbalists and acupuncturists and stuff and chiropractors deal with, as opposed to how medical doctors sometimes do this. Now I want to say you don't have to be a muscle testing doctor to be able to help people with energy complaints. You don't have to master RNA. What I'm going to tell you here can be done for most people without the need to muscle test, although there's some times it might be helpful. Anyway, this one study that I did, I found that the most common cause of energy complaints was low thyroid. I found that in 57.4% of the cases. Adrenal was 33.7%, pancreatic issues 29.7%, B vitamins 24.8%, heart issues 15.8%, blood issues 10.9%. The umbilical reflex, we found that about 8.9% of the time. The color lymphatic, we found 5.9% of the time. The jaw lymphatic, about 5%. The colon, about 3%. And the lower lymphatic, about 2%. So there's a wide range, and these add up to more than 100%, because I said it was 2.4 people. The high incidence of thyroid was a concern. A lot of others have come to similar conclusions about that. But what I want to do now is basically base this on symptoms. But before I go further, I'll also say I did another study where I helped 30 out of 30 people who using the same type of technique I'm going to do today. And I did another study where I helped 128 out of 130. So this type of thing does work, should help most of the people that you see in your practice. So let me start off. I'm going to talk about food nutrients for this. And one thing that you'll hear is sometimes people are tired or have low energy after eating. And I'll tend to recommend food products such as, I'll pull a couple out, like GB Support. That's probably one of the most common ones that I'll use if they have a problem with that. Or something called Digestive-Pan, and if they're vegan, I'll use something called Proenzymes. If it's, again, they're complaining that they don't have normal energy after they eat. Now, athletic energy. This is the other kind of the different extreme. People who want to have more energy. Well, someone comes to my office and they're an athlete and they're going to run or something. I will tell them they should try something like Cardio Power. Now, anytime, by the way, you recommend nutrition that supports the heart or nutrition supports the thyroid, I always tell people don't take it later than 1 o'clock in the day. Now, that's assuming they have a normal work schedule. They're not working at night shifts. Because otherwise, products such as this can sometimes help keep people awake at night, and we don't want them to do that. But people with athletic concerns, they want more athletic energy. I tend to use Cardio Power, I use Metabolic Thyro, Simply Adrenal, and sometimes Anxietones to nutritionally support a healthy circulatory system. And if they're vegan, I'll use CoQ10 Cardio, Vegetarian Thyro, or Vegetarian Adrenal, or Vegetarian Tryptophan. And now muscle testing doctors are going to check the heart reflex, which is normally done like this, the thyroid reflex, which is checked here, the adrenal reflexes will be checked here, here, or in the back. And as we have this on the chart, you can see the points in more detail. B vitamin complaints. Now, most people, they think they have an energy problem, it's because of B vitamins, and people go out and they buy these synthetic B vitamins. Maybe they help a little bit, maybe not. I think they're dangerous. But sometimes you do run into B vitamin complaints. That can normally be checked here. I only recommend 100% food B vitamins because I consider things like folic acid highly dangerous. Seems to be a risk for causing cancers and other things. And B vitamins, most B vitamins people are taking are synthetic. Circadian reflex, low energy. People who have problems with their circadian reflex, and that would be checked here for the muscle testing doctors. I'll recommend things like restful mind support, calcium complex, CalMag complex, magnesium complex, anxietone, simply hypothalamus, or vegetarian tryptophan in order to support a healthy circadian system. So if people have problems with their circadian rhythm, those are some things for you to consider. Choler, lymphatic, low energy. These are often people with limited energy on good days, even less on other days. So I'll tend to, and that we would be checking here, we would tend to use thymoimmune and sometimes a product called Viverbac yeast, especially if we're talking about vegans. Colon reflex, low energy. It's not uncommon for people who have low energy to have problems with their colon. Depending on what's going on with them, and I'll check it with 3 fingers here, I'll recommend magnesium complex or detoxing cleanse. The other thing that sometimes helps with energy would be paradysbiozyme, this energy problem. Sometimes we'll also recommend things such as probiozyme YST, arginase bladder, and or Viverbac YST. All these are vegan, by the way, so they can be used for vegans and non-vegans. Constant energy complaints. Now, there are a lot of causes for people who come in to practice with constant energy complaints. Usually there's a lot of different things. If it's really truly constant, sometimes, believe it or not, it's simply iron. So we use food iron, such as hematic formula. That is what we would typically use. Doctors with muscle tests, you can check the blood reflex like here, and that will give you an idea if there's something going on with their iron. Jaw lymphatic, low energy. These people have limited energy on good days, less on other days. Dairy can sometimes make this worse, can make their problems last longer. A lot of people, though, who have energy complaints this way don't see a direct connection. Again, if you muscle test, you would check it under here. And I tend to recommend thymoimmune or Viverbac YST for that, and sometimes zinc complex. Low afternoon energy. These are people who tend to have a lot of energy complaints or dips in the afternoon. And the most common thing here is to provide nutrition that supports a healthy thyroid. So I'm going to tend to look at things like metabolic thyroid, simply thyroid, and vegetarian thyroid. And for aging people, it means people over 50, which would include people like me, sometimes I'll tend to recommend Migratol. If we're talking about vegans, we'll tend to recommend vegetarian tyrosine or vegetarian thyroid to assist those people who complain about these low energy dips. Now, sometimes people have low energy because their mineral levels are low. We'll use the multiple vitamin mineral, because it provides some energy there. Well, to provide energy, provides the minerals that people can utilize to help them with their energy. Sometimes we'll use magnesium complex, calcium complex, CalMag complex, glucose sugar balance, especially if they've got some food cravings that need to be dealt with. Hematic formula if they need iron. Also, sometimes we recommend vitamin mineral shake for people who don't like to swallow pills, because that's got a lot of minerals in there, and that'll help take care of that. Low morning energy. These are people who complain that they're tired when they first get up, or they feel better after they've been up for a while, but it's really hard for them to do something, or that they used to have a lot of energy, and now they've been stressed so much they just can't handle things anymore. That's usually adrenal support. So we'll look at high stress adrenal, simply adrenal, or vegetarian adrenal. And for some people, we'll also use a vegetarian tyrosine, because those things all do tend to support the adrenal glands, healthy adrenal glands. Low mental energy. Now those are people who just mentally they're not there sometimes. Sometimes I'll recommend serious brain enhancer, which tends to be really good for that, or simply brain, or simply hypothalamus, or vegetarian tryptophan. If they have, however, low morning energy to go along with that, it would be the adrenal products, or if they have low afternoon energy to go along with that, it would be the thyroid products. And for those of you who think I'm going on the faster side of this, we do try to get through this. There's a transcript of this that'll be at the website that you can read for more specific details. Low premenstrual energy. We'll tend to use products such as simply thyroid, and if they're vegetarian, we'll use vegetarian thyroid. Low sexual energy female. These are women who used to have kind of a sex drive but don't have much anymore. Sometimes we'll use things such as a metabolic thyroid or Prostapower, or we'll use products such as Libido Life. Low sexual energy for men, similar. In this case, we'll tend to use Prostapower, sometimes simply Orchic, and as well as the product I mentioned a few months ago, Libido Life. If they're lower lymphatic reflex has low energy, and that is here. It's just below the umbilicus. We'll tend to use things such as Virobac yeast. That one takes a while to work if that's the cause, but that's something we'll tend to use. If they have recurring low energy complaints, these people like the walking wounded. Sometimes these people need things such as Thymoimmune, Virobac YST if they're vegan, and sometimes they also, if it seems appropriate, they need intracellular cough. Severely low energy. And what do you do if someone comes to your office and they're just really severely low? I'm going to look at supporting the heart. So we're going to look at cardio power. I'm going to look at simply cardio. For vegetarians, CoQ10 cardio. And again, sometimes adrenal support and thyroid support go along with it. If their thymus reflex is not right, which I'll tend to confirm through muscle testing, I'll use intracellular cough, Virobac yeast, or Thymoimmune. If their toxic reflex has got low energy, or if you think people have too much metals or whatever issue you're trying to work with them on there that you're concerned about, toxics in the environment, we use detoxing cleanse, aller lung support, and sometimes liver detoxin support. And for one of the really stubborn ones, the umbilicus one, we tend to use probiozyme YST, Virobac YST, and sometimes GB support, Thymoimmune, arginase bladder, digestive or proenzymes. Now I know I've gone through this relatively quickly, but for YouTubes you sort of need to do that. If you want to know more, we have a new muscle testing chart that for doctors who are interested in doing that might be helpful. We also have a brand new book called Serious Nutrition, Incorporating Clinically Effective Nutrition into Your Practice. This is the second edition. It's all based on food nutrients. Nothing in here involves the use of synthetic vitamins, isolated USB vitamins, or ground up rocks or mineral salts. If you want more information about that, you can go to our website, www.doctorsresearch.com. That's www.doctorsresearch.com. Or if you're a healthcare professional, you can call us at 805-489-7185. That's 805-489-7185. You can help people with energy complaints. There are quite a few of them out there. Realize that one size does not fit all, and hopefully I've given you some information that will help you help your patients.